Okay, so we are back in, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to take a second to revisit some scenes that might give us some new context we might not have considered in the past.
Okay.
Because there's a couple of points that we were confused about, and then there's some other things where basically, now that Punch Mom is more or less caught up and we've been talking, we've been exchanging some ideas, and yeah, there's just a list of places where it's like, you know what, I would like to recap here to see if A, we have any better perspective on things,
Okay.
or B, this can shed some light on points of confusion. You know what I mean?
Okey-doke. So what's on your mind?
Well, first, I'm thinking about going back to the place where we first saw Ida.
Okay.
So, on my
Do you
list
mean
of...
the older form of Ida, or...
I mean our introduction to the character in the event called...
Yeah, which scene in particular are you thinking of?
Let's just look at the all events list to be 100%. My name is Tetsuya Ida.
Okay.
Let's rewatch this scene.
Was that drone scouting for the kaiju? Hope they didn't find us.
Okay, so
Kisaragi's...
There was this great cake shop, and they had this pear. Now, it's all ruined.
Are you gonna be okay?
I gotta stay strong.
You sound good to me. I'd still tune in to see you.
You're such a dork.
Aw.
do you remember this?
To the cross-country
Yes.
road. We might see a rescue
What? The only things flying around are the nobody's here, even online. There's no way. I mean, I think it's like this around. Those things are raised, like how everyone in the city just. I saw it happen. I bet Mom and Dad were.
That's the part I don't get. Whatever these big killer aliens, they've clearly got us way outclassed. They can wipe out whole crowds without a beam or anything.
So there's the perception that they wiped out everybody, as opposed to the obvious knowledge that we have now
Yep.
about what that is, right?
And still, with all that power, they come here in this gigantic horde. They dig these holes all over town, and then they just stop. No carnage. They're just sitting there.
Because they're terraformers. They're built to terraform.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it, right?
Like they're waiting for something. And us, we didn't get killed or vanish or anything.
Because you're real.
There's gotta be a reason for that, too.
How are you still this calm? It's crazy that you can still keep it.
I'm really not. Trust me. I'm freaking out. Look out! You okay? Look, it was just a building collapsing over there. They didn't find us.
Yeah.
What?
What? You really changed. Back in middle school, you were a total nerd. Glasses and all.
There.
It just makes me wonder, why do you make such a big change to your image?
Well, funny story.
Oh.
I was listening to one of your streams,
And you want to look more badass.
you said you kind of go for tough guys.
Like
Cool guys.
Ogata.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
What? That's it? That's why you started trying to be such a badass?
She's attracted to types like Ogata. He's a fan. He's Fate, F8 from on the stream.
Yeah.
So his natural appearance is that more of the Ida that we know. But he changed his appearance to look more like the type of girl she would, the type of person she would want.
I guess I got the look down, but I couldn't walk the walk, huh?
And that's why young Ida has the appearance of someone completely different in a way.
Okay.
Shu, on the other hand, was picked up and given to another family,
Yeah.
and I guess just came to the same, like, no glasses and dyed hair choices by whatever circumstance
Okay.
and coincidence, so to speak. But his image change from the Ida that we know was explained here in the introduction to him. So that's why we were missing out.
Seriously, this isn't the time for jokes.
Right? And then he talks about
Actually,
F8 and all
my
that stuff. Yeah.
What? All this time that's been you?
So this conversation, back from October,
Wow.
from the beginning of October, was where the secrets to that misunderstanding come from.
Okay.
Hey,
I only got so... That's why I started because he supported me.
Yeah.
well, you...
And this is obviously the origins of her going in to become Inaba.
Okay.
And then this
I can't...
is...
There were other
We came to... Morimura-san.
This is loop
They're
2.
over here.
So this is Mura 2. So this is Mura that then becomes... or is this the Mura that becomes BJ?
My name. What about you two?
Or am I thinking...
I'm Tomi Kisaragi.
I'm...
So the drone found these two then? Now, who are you?
Me? I'm Tetsuya Ida.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the Mura that goes on to become BJ, but either way, that is
Could line up, yeah.
that's the reason why.
Okay, then grows up, and then hair color doesn't matter anymore. And that's why it changes appearance when he
Wait, no,
looks
that
up.
might not make sense because that would imply that Mura BJ survived the loop. Anyway, whatever. Maybe not, but not to get caught up in that. But this is the point that we were a bit stuck on. So that's item number 1 on the list, right?
Addressing already the questions from the last session. Okay.
Hold on a second. Let me just make sure. I just saw Punch Mom walk by. I want to make sure she just like got her headphones on and stuff. Hey, Punch Mom. You know we're playing 13 Sentinels, right? All right, I think she can't hear us. All right, that's good. Good.
All right.
Just making sure. Because I'm like, why are you getting so dangerously close? This is a danger zone. You know what? I'm gonna go make sure. I'm gonna get up and tell her physically that we're playing the danger game because I don't want to spoil it.
That's true. That was a good thing. Punch Mom is gonna be listening to this in the future. Like, oh, they're talking about me. They're so nice. Punch Mom will be in the second loop. This is the first loop. And then Woody's over there confirming, and Woolie is back. I was telling folks that she's gonna see this in the second loop.
All right. There we go.
All right.
Yes, double headphones with earplugs underneath them.
Oh my god.
Because you never know how loud it might get, right?
Isolation chamber.
I mean, basically, float tank.
Yeah. In the water.
Okay, so the next thing I want to check out is if we can find the next Shu event where he has a memory of Ida essentially resurrecting and torturing Izumi, who then goes on to become 426.
Right.
There's a couple of
the lab, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of things to glean from that. Looking at this, it would have to be... Okay. Ida versus Amaguchi. No, this is way too late in a different
story
sector.
of Shu Amiguchi.
So he might not be the protagonist of that memory then.
There was Shu's Dream 2100 in Shikishima Lab 6. And that was during Shu's story.
During Shu's story... See, the problem is that these are all Sector 4. Unless it's a flashback within
Maybe
it.
there was something like Terrible Dream. What was that image that was associated?
Terrible
down
Dream?
This one. Amiguchi. No, that's not. That's Kurabe's Terrible Dream.
Okay. Yeah, I think the scenes of the dreams might end up going into all. Right? So, let's just...
I can tell you what happens right before we see the torture scene.
It's right here. Here we go. Found
Okay.
it. Yeah, we can just scroll through all to find it.
Cool.
See, protagonist Shu Amaguchi. So it is a part of his events, but it's a memory, right? So this is called consciousness and body. If we were to just...
Oh, and it's not there.
And it's not in his list. Or is it? I don't think it was. Yeah, see? So these are one of those things where like you have to go over to all for the best.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because you're seeing him wake up from it, but you're not seeing his actual memory.
True.
So consciousness and body.
And that should work okay.
Memory data is now ready.
Thank you, Tamao-san. I really don't know.
Don't worry, Ida-kun. You succeeded with me. I'm sure you'll do fine with her.
I'm sorry. Don't worry.
I'm looking for...
Let's...
Initialize... The simulate...
Please.
Wait,
It is...
she looks...
I'm sorry. It took 8 years.
She's having trouble understanding her situation. I will inhibit her emotions to a...
8 years past loop 1, so halfway through, right?
What's...
Please listen. I analyzed your data I found data for your old memories, your mind. And now I've tracked...
You mean
The wild thing, though, is to consider is that, like, every time a loop occurs,
Tamao-san, please
people
turn
in the real
sensitivity on
world
those
outside of
Kisaragi-san.
the
You're like me now.
the project
An AI
are
based on
still
memory
aging
data.
themselves by 16 years, you know?
You are constructed to think and act just to be Tomi Kisaragi.
You're
So it's not
still
like those 16
you.
years are like free fake time, you know?
Let me... Could you can...
Okay, so... I guess a little over here. Or is it the second scene?
I think it's the other scene.
It's the second
'cause
scene,
We see
yeah.
the android that's actually hooked up, right? It's not
yeah,
Tommy's figure.
yeah, totally. Exactly.
The Sentinels we thought were complete aren't responding. The Sentinels are working off of the same code, so it has to be the decode control. If we want to disrupt, we need someone.
Yeah, okay. Wrong scene. So... Although something about what she just said is also worth examining, because basically we had the scene explaining that the initial attempts at Sentinels were mostly automated and failed, right?
Okay.
So I just wanted to go back and grasp, like, a little, again, now that we kind of understand things a little bit more, how those efforts, like what the details are about, like, you know, the initial Sentinel program where they couldn't handle it because it was, you know, partially automated with a few pilots, right? Resurrection. Here we go.
Yes.
Now, a bit more. Maybe the... Do you recognize me?
So what I want to confirm from this scene is specifically, one, whether or not... Well, here, let's go through it. I want to confirm whether or not I believe that we see the swap occur, so that he jumps into Tomi's body, and then she ends up in the husk. But then later on with Tamao, we don't see the swap occur. We see the jump, but we don't get confirmation that she ended up inside, that Tamao ended up in the body. But if it's the same idea of what happened already, then it's reasonable to assume that it happened twice the same way.
Okay.
And then the second thing is to just confirm that the Izumi that we see here in this form would go on to become a lot more twisted than the one who was trying to save the world by killing everybody, who was like a lot more like, I guess, like clear-eyed about his ideology. You know, because I had a confusing point between, I was like, why is Kyudashiba so callous, right? And why is, you know, why do I feel like that? And why do I kind of feel that from the android as 426 as well, versus like when he was grown and trying to go and save everybody?
Yeah.
You know, so like what was the twist,
What was the
essentially?
switch?
And I suspect that the switch was the constant torture by Ida here, turning him into that, like, fuck everything kind of person.
An older version of him. Xiang's gone a long time.
You always seem to notice that whenever I wake you up. It's been 3 years since you died. Next year, we enter the 22nd century.
And how do I look now? Oh, this is horrific. No arms or legs.
You'll find the pain receptors are all, so I'd really recommend you cooperate. You are now an android. Your consciousness is stored on an electronic brain.
So you pulled my data from Sector 0.
Izumi's data was pulled from Sector 0.
Yes. So when he jumped, right, in that first time, that leaves a backup of the moment that we saw them leave Sector 1, hit 0, and then come back to Sumere Bridge.
Yeah.
That backup that data still exists, right? So he can always go back to that updated version of Juro sitting in Sector 0.
Okay.
Brought me back as a ghost.
I brought you back because you clearly did the most work on that underground supercomputer. So we're gonna have a little chat about your research.
What do you want?
Let's talk about your You were testing an unorthodox function for the interlocutor, downloading memories into a human brain. I'm picking up where you left off. So records say the memory transplant was a success, but all the raw data from the experiment was deleted. Why did you delete it?
So we know the answer to that now. Or at the very least, I think...
Did you hit some
Was it
snag with the
Morimura
I believe so.
that actually deleted the stuff and he thinks that it's 426?
I think so.
Okay, let's wait. Okay, let's...
And an important note we'll make about the projects in a second. Inflict pain. Yeah. So this is basically creating the Ida we know and the 426 we know. Because the Juro that came through on Sumere Bridge was, you know, had conviction in his in his personality, and this fucker is just like callous about it, and you can see it in the way he treats he acts as Cuda, and also in the way he behaves when he gets cornered later on. So it makes perfect sense that he's a different personality from the one that we saw confronting Morimura.
Yeah.
Why does that information matter to you? Planning to take over some...
You killed Kisuragi, and I will make you pay.
Yeah.
I'm bringing her back. As a human.
Yeah.
This is incredible. How many times have you revived me here?
His solution was to kill everybody. That's not acceptable to Ida, who's obsessed with Tomi.
Not the first.
This goes down the way it does.
Only you would find the...
You've been bringing me. You even got me to tell you how to enter. Must have been painful. Handling the Deimos code is dangerous, you know.
How far back did you look?
So that's your process. Then erase me once you have what you need.
You're a dangerous man. Gotta get rid of you early this time. Can't afford the risk.
And with the ability to do shit like that, like, even though it's being copied from Sector Zero and might theoretically be missing some of the current information, like, the ability to do what he just did would get him up to date on what he would have been missing. right? Because if you think about the Juro that pops out of Sector 0, it's the kid that goes, what's going on? Where are we? Right? The Sumeri Bridge version of events. But, like, theoretically, if the 426 that we're dealing with now was able to scan all that information, catch up to speed with what happened, the alternate version of him, and what's been going on with Ida over here, then, like, he's not in the dark anymore. Like, he's catching up to speed, you know?
What's wrong?
I found out from Mori. You're trying to transplant my mind, aren't you? You want to replace the Tomi Kisaragi of this world. Do you realize how horrifying that is? How could you?
Wait, look. It'll mean you can be human again.
And it's effectively the exact process that happened to Okino.
It means you're going to sacrifice a living human girl.
But she's you. It'll be your heart and mind going into your own body. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
You know, the girl you're talking, she's just a machine.
But your heart is real.
Don't you get it? The girl you knew, even if you steal her body. And
Please, without you, I'm...
you know I love you, but I can't support you.
That explains why you woke me up. It sounds like things...
Who's that?
I can tell you your biggest just standing right that you should never have revived her as an android in the first place. All you had to do was transfer her mind into a flesh body. You could have gotten everything you want. Nobody the wiser.
Shut up!
Juro Izumi. You're Juro Izumi. Prisoner 426, aren't you?
So he literally tells him, you fucked up, dude.
Yep.
You could have done this right, but you fucked up, right?
Why did you wake him up?
Same reason he brought you back. Were both his means to an end.
Why?
Just had some technical things, don't worry. I had a couple more
I noticed you kept Kisaragi's memory from before transplanting her into the android. Paranoia getting to you. You didn't need to keep so many backups. Strange move for a man who sees humans as replaceable hardware.
What if she doesn't like it? What if the version of her that knows too much is not going to love me the same way? Better keep the one before that just in case.
She doesn't know that much.
Maybe you had the same contingency plan for her. You could erase her and start over.
I've heard enough.
No need to get emotional. After all, me and you are just data. All you have to do is recess, and we spring to life just like you.
I'm erasing him now. Just keep your eyes on the...
That's right. Better watch carefully. Never know what might happen.
Delete.
There.
Delete.
That should do it.
Yeah.
You know he was just trying to mess with our heads.
That dude ruled.
Are you mad at me? You know he was just... Are you mad?
Data transmission had been remapped to the delete button. Guess he was too worked up to notice. Never thought I'd find an escape hint by one of my past... So, how...
Yep.
Hey, Kisaragi.
So we see the
So
conversation.
because of the switch there,
It is a
thought that
it is a
this
body
happened.
swap. It is a full-on Ginyu, right?
A shame it might end up getting you deleted. And by the man you love, too.
Izumi-san.
Sorry, but I need the...
Yes. So it works like a full-on Ginyu. Also, really important to note that I think that moment where he goes, all you had to do was just put her right into a flesh body, you
Yeah.
fucking idiot. And he's like, shut up. Motherfucker's like, shit, let's loop again and I'll do it right.
Yeah.
He was totally right. 426 nailed it. I should have just done that. Why didn't I do that? and now he escaped and he's using it, and this whole thing's gone wrong, and all I had to do is exactly what he said I should have done, and then it would have been perfect, and she would have loved me, and I would have had my Tomi back. So no, we're not saving the world like this. We're not gonna stop it here. We're not gonna freeze things out. We're gonna keep this fucking loop going, and I'm gonna make her again. And if we stop it now, I'll never get that chance. Right?
Okay. Okay,
Makes
that holds.
sense. Yeah. Makes sense. So that motivation, he was straight up told, like, this is where you fucked up. You know? That makes sense to me.
Okay.
Okay.
What else is on your mind?
Yeah, no, so we just got both of those done.
Okay.
Right. Okay, I wanted to go back now to the battle where Ida here makes reference to yeah, so this is the first version of when they're fighting back with I believe a number of the Sentinels being automated, and this is I think where everyone thinks Ida dies before,
he's
like,
left behind, yeah.
This is what?
Because he's left behind.
Yeah.
Area descent.
We watched this a couple times actually.
Number 14 has secured a path. Don't stop. You're almost there.
So they are like,
Number 14 is taking damage.
yeah, they're all piloting groups of Sentinels, or at the very least relying on AI clusters to do it, right?
No, I can still do this.
She's one of the real pilots.
17, assist number 14. Number 17, no response.
Miss Morimura, something's wrong. I'm not getting a response from Sekigahara either.
And at this point, with that Ida, in theory, Inaba should be on board as the Sentinel AI.
Oh.
Right?
Systems being
From where?
through the laser link. The attack is originating. Sekigahara's trans.
Yes.
Our defenses are down. Both Sentinels are showing. I can't.
Yep. Everything's getting infected.
Right, we're gonna lose all the units. Force them out.
We don't have time.
Do it as it.
Send them all wherever you can. Pilots' lives are priority, but there's only a handful of pilots now. Not every Sentinel is a pilot here, right? There's a couple Juro's on the field, Ryoko's on the field, but not everybody. Right, all the numbers.
How did that? The kaiju are almost.
We need to go. I was able to access the Ottoman. We can buy time with that. You two,
Ida-kun.
please hurry.
Right.
I'd rather not die a meaningless death.
Where he knows that's some bullshit based on, you know, the circumstances, but he drops that line. Yeah, okay. And then they peace out. There we go. All right. Cool. All right, so yeah, nothing super
Revealing.
new to glean from that. Although he refers to autonomous number 8. But I believe at that point a number of them are autonomous, right? Like all the stuff that's pre-19, as he said.
Yeah.
You know, minus whatever like an actual pilot is sitting in. Okay.
Yeah, there was even one battle when Goto was controlling 1 to 11.
On his own, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that was the original layout plan for the battle. Okay, for the Sentinels. Okay, so then the other thing to get straight is Just to rewatch and make sure there's nothing that we can understand better now. 2089, Sumere Bridge, Sector 1. Rather... Wait, yeah, I believe that's what I'm looking for. Yes, they're older. This one, the bridge top standoff.
Okay.
Right.
Juro, I won't let you get away.
It's you. Well, the you of 16 years ago. You're not aware of what happened, are you? That's disappointing.
What happened?
You and I were in love. Hand in hand, we struggled to save the world.
This is not the... If this is the same Juro voice actor just putting on 2 voices, that'd be unbelievable. But either way, like, he's great. He sounds... I like this...
yeah, the older Juro.
The older Juro a lot.
That...
Sounds like Mulder.
It was all for naught.
Not entirely. We did find the truth. This is but one small part of a massive operation. Even if I tried to explain it, it would be lost on you now. The plan needs to be revised.
He could either be referring to... So, she says, I'm not going to let you get away with it again. Probably referring to the fact that he's out there going, let's kill all the carriers. Right? The plan needs to be revised. This signifies him concluding for some reason...
I need to kill everyone, right?
Or that's not going to work.
Okay.
Right? Because she's already, like, at odds with him right now. She's like, I'm not going to let you get away with this, right? So he's already started down his path. And he's in the form that we, kind of saw already, like, shooting the kids and stuff like that, where she intervened. So this line, to me, probably indicates that here he's having a moment where he's realizing that that method is not going to work for some reason.
Okay.
And this is where the modern version of him in the form of 426 having different motivation starts to make sense.
Please, you must let me go.
Do you mean to say you'll be taking even more lives? You've already killed the 4 that came with you.
Yeah.
You misunderstand. I backed up my data on Sector 0 before the final battle.
Okay, so that implies that what we were saying just now about young Juro coming in and catching up to speed with what was going on, because he said, I copied you from Sector 0.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's the young one that first popped out in Sumere. He made a recent update after that. He made an update before the final battle, so that's a Juro that knew all the shit that was going down already.
Okay.
So his naive version is now replaced with an unformed version. So we can update that assumption we just made a second ago.
Okay.
Right? Now we know that whatever you're pulling from Sector 0 knows what's going on and has an understanding about everything up to the final battle.
That was all I could do. I'm not aware of what happened to the others.
That's not what Ida-kun said.
That guy.
And in fact, it's pretty brilliant insurance to, like, discover the idea of loops and go, all right, well, if we fail here, at least I'll get spit back out, knowing, like, what happened up until our last attempt. I don't know why we failed, maybe, but I'll know that, like, it didn't work because here I am again. Right?
And the data was updated.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But he won't have seen the failure.
Yeah.
I can't trust a word you say.
The 25-year-old Morimura felt quite differently. You said you'd loved me since the day we met. I can't imagine that's changed. Please, open the way.
I can't.
Open the way.
Juro.
Not out of my way. Open the way.
The way.
Open the way. Okay. So yeah, Sector 0 gets a version of him that is caught up to speed, right? And again, all of that right there with him saying plans changed. That's where we're like, okay, now 426 is up to some different shit, right? And we're not too sure what that is, but like it's clearly the events of this game playing out, right? Now next would come the next bridge top standoff. So this scene happens again, except at the end of Yuki's timeline. What am I doing? I can just... Whoops. No, not that button, but... Yuki.
Okay.
Bridge. Goodbye, BJ. No, that's not it. Okay, we're looking for Yuki. Here we go. Confronting Erika Aiba. Yes.
Okay.
So back on Sumeri Bridge. Sector 4 this time. Pre-Kyudashiba.
Where are we going?
Post
Yeah, the confrontation, right?
post escape from Shu into Tomi to the bathroom, Tomi to Aiba,
Yeah.
Aiba hanging out with Yuki, and now Yuki catches on.
I just wanted... Oh? Is Tamao your real...
You're right. I harbored no more. Plus, a twist like this in the third act, it makes for a better detective story, don't you think? You really are good.
You remember the incident?
Yes, but why bring that up now?
There were two Tomiki, and I recently... Hey. Oh. What are you...
Right. So this,
Is that...
It's a machine made to look like an android.
it's this. So Robotomi body here already deactivated. Tamao's AI was in that because the Ginyu effect, right?
Okay, yeah.
So Ginyu effect again means that Tamao ended up in that husk and died.
Can't get it to work. Data's been corrupted.
Not enough
Before
juice.
It was the inside seemed, meaning he got away.
Who's...
Juro, he's a mass. He may, but I know he's... I found this shoved in. He must have hidden it.
Yeah. So
This place is the girl's bath. The other Tomi...
So I remember I was just waiting to see if like this one would be like Tamao, you know, or something, but like there was just no confirmation. But it's like safe to assume the Ginyu effect happened
Weird.
again.
And it's been bugging Pooh, this
Yeah.
guy. Know what I mean?
So you're a robot.
You heard about... I just learned about... Had to sneak. They said... What's the Because the only person... is you.
Oh, I have no idea.
You're not even... You are a one that used a robot who... You are housing the a man by...
Are you okay? Well, this is annoying. I could swear I made sure to erase your memory.
So this attitude, completely different, right? Not the dude on the bridge
Pretty aggressive.
saying please open the way.
Finally dropping the...
I suppose this time I'll have to erase quite a bit more.
Very much sounds like the same lines that Kyuda uses, right? So that makes all
Like hell you look behind...
makes it all make sense. But more than that,
So this... Morimura's like... It's been a while. I never thought I'd see you dressing up as a schoolgirl. You're insane, Juro.
At least I'm more sane than you. Trying to save your own ass by derailing the Interstellar project.
This line right here makes reference to characters that are in this world knowing about what's going on outside. And we now know what Morimura saving her ass means because we know what Morimura was up to. So, clearly, or at the very least, like, you can look at this and go like, all right, they had the logs of what happened in the outside world, and while Morimura erased them, 426 knows about them still. So, yeah, referencing the fact, saying the words Interstellar Project, it's like, these are the only two people that could possibly make reference to that, right?
I'm doing this for you and me. We can make it out alive.
You and me. So she still believes at a certain level.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not letting go still.
Yeah. Something to that, right? Exactly. Hold on to that thought. Knowing what you know about her.
Not the you as you are now.
But
the one before you awakened here.
A previous version from Sector Zero that doesn't know what's going on, right? Maybe the updated one doesn't override the last one completely, and she wants to save the innocent Juro from 16 years ago. Maybe.
For the small sacrifice of 15 other lives.
It's not a sacrifice. They'll be able to lead happier lives this way.
Even if it means they're denied their future without ever knowing why?
See, referring to a sacrifice as if you're like gonna kill them, but it's really just stopping the process. Didn't you know what I mean?
I have shot you here on Sumire Bridge once before. I have no hesitation as I do so again.
Damn.
Oh shit, Aiba.
Now it's not. We don't know for sure what the we know what saving her ass means in reference to the files and stuff like that. But I mean, unless there's another implication behind that line. But like for now, we're going to assume it's what she said, right?
It's not dead yet. You really just what the?
Getting you ready. Ready for the
Game that would,
Reference to the game.
Again.
Who the fuck talks about the game? Who talks about the game? Fluffy. Right?
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, that's that. Because whatever the new plan is,
things are about to get underway.
That he'd said that would, like, the change of plans, whatever that means,
Trying to deal with nuisances like you.
it's now about getting everyone involved in the game. And into the trash it goes. Right? No one could have survived. Blah da 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 da.
Hey, we need to surround the.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
You need to. We'll look around.
Understood.
Yeah. So, reference to the game is a fluffy fucking thing. Getting everyone ready. You begged me to put you back in, he says to A. Right? So, 426 is clearly behind Fluffy. That would make sense considering how 426 is able to work with... considering how Kyuda works to Juro.
Yeah, and Megumi or
making basically Megumi experience something similar that can jump into other people as well at will makes sense. So Fluffy is operating as that type of, like
sort of agent in a way.
Yeah, just like I'm projecting myself into the characters that I want to interact with me and setting them up by infecting them with the Deimos code. And that whole TV jump moment as well, where we saw him talking to A about the whole situation.
Yeah.
Like, reference to the game means fluffy. So that's answered. So 426 is using Megumi to get everyone pulled into the game. Right?
Yeah, everybody's getting shot.
Yeah. So that to me, I'm like, okay, we have that now on the table. We still don't know the full extent of what 426 intends to occur here, but we do know that, like, what we're doing and shooting everybody is the new plan, right? Something didn't work about going around killing everybody, but something about this 426 is convinced is the right way forward. The difference, of course, is that this is a callous, evil 426, Izumi, right?
Yep.
Raised through the fucking torture bonds and shit like that. And now we just need to know, like, in the end, like, what are you hoping for? Because we know Ito is hoping for an opportunity to remake Tomy again.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck about the consequences. But what is 426 actually hoping for?
Yeah, why is he doing that?
Yeah, we don't have that info yet, right? But this is setting up the domino pieces at the very least so that we can take a look at them.
After this scene,
Yeah.
Conscious Criminal, it says, Riddle with bullet holes narrowly escapes by jumping off the bridge and disappearing. So does that mean that they didn't find the body?
Yeah, they didn't find the body, and then remember the Jiro finds it and moves it to the dumpster.
Oh, okay. But how did Jiro find it? Was it in the middle of...
It was I think it was in the middle of the street. And then, because, you know, she belongs to the streets. And then he convinces Jiro.
Yeah, Q-Dye is like, Jiro, you should put that in the trash or something.
What are we going to do here? Hey, man, what's up? Don't you remember me? And it's like, bzz, yeah, I do remember you.
Okay.
And then he moves it to the trash, and then they find her later, right?
Yeah, okay.
Right. Okay, so we got that on the take. So just, again, like food for thought,
Yeah.
you know? All right, so we see the reference to the game there. Then and then next we go, yeah, let's just go to all. And what we need to do is we need to watch Butthurt Ryoko talking about
oh yeah,
her anger and her madness at Ida. Would it be listed in her timeline?
Let me see if I can find something.
Wait, it appears she sees it, and she sees it in the middle of the walkway between the two buildings, right? Yes, here we go. Me from the future.
So, this
He was using me right from
Here we go. It was all a lie.
His love was nothing but
He was
empty
using me
words.
from the start.
The very start. I was such a fool. We are all that remains of humanity.
Confirming the few that are left, right? This might be before or after the escape. I would assume. You know what? We don't. You know, I won't assume anything. But either way, this could be before or after the massacre.
Okay.
Right?
And still we deceive each other. So filled with hate.
Yeah. People are still killing each other with the fucking single digits left in terms of the population.
I have had enough. This can't be real. Humanity has always been fated for ruin.
We're dwindling. Might as well keep it going.
Project Ark was a mistake. But it is already in its second stage.
A never-ending
I
loop
cannot stop it.
after to purge humanity.
All I can do is derail it.
I'm gonna derail Project Ark.
I have linked in parts parts of the terraforming project.
I'm linked in parts of the terraforming project, aka the other project, probably Interstellar. Right? If ARC is representing the human seeding colony project, where they have the DNA of the survivors and they can use that DNA to go and populate other planets, then possibly Interstellar is specifically referring to Shikishima bots going out there and turning uninhabitable planets into habitable planets.
Okay.
But she's derailing them by linking them together.
The heavy machinery will then purge humans from all sectors.
Sending those robots that are supposed to go out into space into the sectors instead.
If everything goes according to plan, the final phase will be reset.
So fuck your progress. Fuck this whole thing.
And all sectors will fall into a never-ending loop.
Right.
What remains will be a peaceful world. Finally free of humanity.
So her intention
No, I couldn't have.
was to have these terraformers come and fuck up the sectors over and over and over again, and for this to be a constant ending, a constant thing. So she actually sabotaged the projects for this to be a infinite loop of like spitting out new people, destroying them, spitting out new people, destroying them. With the linking of these two projects. But we find out very quickly that by never ending, it turned out to be like 3.
Yeah.
This place will be destroyed as well. The human race has reached its end. We have no need for a future.
This place, 2188, where we are, we're about to fuck this place up too. Yeah. Right?
Okay.
So, you know, despite the fact that others aren't, like, she initiated the bullshit that everyone's experiencing right now. She set it into motion.
Yeah.
Because she was butthurt. And now, the players are left taking advantage of whatever this is to their own devices, you know? So everyone's stuck figuring out what everyone's ambitions
scurrying to
are based on the rules that she set up, you know? So Ryoko is that person. Okay, so that confirms that. And then the last thing, just to piece together 2188 a little bit more, is to see if we can find a scene where we see Yuki talking. Oh, we see 2188 Yuki talking to 2188 Miura. So this is the first one between them and Natsuno. Then this is Kurabe. Then this is Morimura. But at some point, there's a conversation. Maybe it's under Yuki? But they'll likely not.
Is it the same one where they're talking about Miura and Minami's relationship?
Yes. Exactly, that one. It's not in the 2188 section.
The story of Kitaro Miura. Log shows Professor Yuki Takamiya in the future 2188 is Natsuno Minami's mom, and she doesn't approve of Minami and Miura's relationship.
The log of Miura, you're saying?
It says we saw it in the story of Kitaro Miura.
Okay, so it'll be under his section. All right, we'll
hopefully.
All right, let's take a look here.
And this is all ordered, but when does this conversation occur?
1 second, I'm just checking something out here. $2100, 2097. Yes, okay. Anyway, 2 different Juros that end up going their ways. So, Miura...
Juro going his own way.
Yeah. Yeah. Jigtow. Is it a scene that maybe do the memories appear in
during another thing?
During another thing, exactly.
Story of Kitaro Miura. At the Kaede riverbed, Miura wants to get the Sentinel from Shikishima building. And then there's an old factory location turned to a pack, and Chihiro is there. A Chihiro-looking girl with her older brother. Then after they go to Sakura High School, they see Megumi Yakushiji at the gates, and she made a bento. For
No.
Miura.
I just if you can see, do you see anything about like where the vision occurs?
Old building conversation. Minami shows BJ to Miura, and BJ.
Old building. Okay.
Yeah. And that's where Miura says that...
Yes, Derek found it. Cool. Thank you. Too much information, no good. Just location would help with the...
Stop.
Yeah.
Miura, can you...
Of course.
Okay. Then I'll tell you. Don't freak out, okay? This is He's an BJ's looking for and I'm helping him find it. Does the word that sentinel from back belongs to BJ's I don't need to...
So this one-sided, unrequited love is the closest thing to a second healthy relationship in the game.
BJ, I have some questions.
The only healthy relationship is Ogata and Tomi. Everything else is fuck toxic.
All they do is...
But...
If he's just a... Don't be a jerk. BJ isn't some kind of aliens coming. Mike, the only thing...
So, you're in... Why are you certain? What's
to uncover
the truth?
You wish to know where you came from, do you not?
What are you talking about?
Incorrect. Your log proves other.
My log?
Yeah, sure.
And BJ's doing his best to be like...
This log.
I am a robot.
If you really have it.
Professor, I have switched over to a private channel.
There we go.
Professor Takamiya, can you hear me?
Is that...
Miura-kun?
Professor Takamiya.
I'm connected now. Thanks, Miura-kun.
What the heck? Yuki-chan?
Everything goes smoothly with the shuttle?
I was able to secure a seat thanks to you. It'll probably be the last shuttle. This place will be lost by tomorrow, too.
So that makes it sound as if, like, she was last to arrive amongst the few humans. It makes it sound like, you know...
Has the front line advanced that much already?
Afraid so. If anything, they're picking up speed. Did Natsuno get out safely?
She arrived in Sector 4 about 5 hours ago.
Okay.
Ah, so she's there with you. You know, you two, I never approved of your relationship.
What?
Mom! There's my girl. You know I'm only kidding. I didn't think you wanted to talk to me anymore.
Of course I do.
I'm sorry about all the trouble with your father. He and I haven't been on good terms since we split up.
It's okay, Mom. I want to be with you.
God, I remember how fucked up this conversation. Like, this thing.
That was a big drop.
Oh my God, my brain was vibrating.
I know. Me too, Nan-chan.
Yuki-chan's my mom?
I'm sorry, Professor Takamiya. The shuttle's about to take off.
All right. I'll see you at Sector 3 in 14 hours.
We'll be waiting for you at Landing Zone 10.
So she makes reference to the front advancing.
Looking forward to it.
The destruction is spreading. It's only a matter of time until the surface is lost.
And that Earth is probably gone completely, right? Based on this line. So, that sounds like Yuki came last from Earth. Natsuno was right before her, and then Yuki came last, and then like the surface of the Earth is fucking done.
Dunzo.
And yeah, then it's like whatever few numbers they were at that point. That's the cast, right? Okay, that's it. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do.
That's a nice look over.
Yeah, and that I think makes a lot more sense with everyone's motivations. Ida's motivations, 426. We have the what, and we have the how. We just don't know why, right? Like, why the game and what changed? Why shooting everybody to get them into this circumstance? What are you hoping for? We have Morimura, who, again, self-admitted to trying to basically do the Okino-style rebirthing and wiping a brain technique,
True.
And I hope we get a bit more about Okino to figure out, like, exactly what that
entails.
Yeah, or just at least the sources of it. But for what it's worth, we don't need to know anymore because we concluded that, hey, Okino's smart, and that's that, right? So that's where we are at now. Last thing we did was 210. That unlocked the new Himawari ward, but not actually. It just let us look at it through the glass. So let's do our remembrance.
Yeah. Get that story through.